The story starts here, in the heart of the city.
We continue to follow the ongoing developments.
The student group is the first to take on such a project.
Everyone is waiting for a vote on the bill.
The team is winning at a record-breaking pace.
It's an issue for residents here and around Boston.
The story is coming up on Suffolk U News.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Suffolk U News, the weekly news program brought to you by the Department of Communication and Journalism at Suffolk University. I'm Dan Lamparello from Draken.
And I'm Katie Shambo from Merrimack, New Hampshire. We're happy to be coming to you from our Suffolk studio in downtown Boston, courtesy of your cable company and on the internet.
We begin with a movement on a project that has been in the works for a decade. Interior construction will begin in the coming months on a new public food market in downtown Boston. The market will be located right across from the North End in a 28,000 square foot space that has been vacant since the Big Dig. Once completed, the interior of the market will host about 40 vendors selling a wide array of local products. The market will sit right above the MBTA Haymarket station, adjacent to where the Haymarket vendors set up each weekend. Boston Public Market Operations Manager Mimi Hall believes that the Haymarket vendors and public market will complement each other.
We're really excited that Haymarket's here, as well as the other merchants that are here on Blackstone Street, because they sell a lot of complementary products that our vendors aren't necessarily going to be specializing in.
Some vendors will begin selling products on an outdoor plaza along the Rose Kennedy Greenway this spring. Meanwhile, the new facility is scheduled to open up in the spring of 2015.
Coming sooner at the Haymarket bus station and others, countdown clocks for MBTA buses. 11 bus stations will receive countdown clocks by this summer. The machines will track MBTA buses in real time to estimate just how soon your next ride is coming by. The clocks currently operate at all 53 subway stations of the red, orange, and blue lines, and positive customer feedback helped bring the clocks above ground.
Smokers are once again the focus of discussions nationwide, from cigarette sales to smoking bans in public parks. And smokers are now the focus of Suffolk University's Student Government Association. Their goal? Ask the swarms of student smokers outside a building here on campus to step away. Ashtrays have already been moved to the edge of the sidewalk in front of the Sawyer Business School building, and until the new policy is enforced. Not asking students to stop smoking completely, but Student Government Chair Collins Loisel says that for safety purposes, just take it elsewhere.
Just encouraging people to take the cigarettes a little bit away from the building so that people are walking safely and not having to deal with such large amounts of secondhand smoke.
This is going to be a long-term project that SGA is determined to get done. So hopefully we're going to start getting it off the ground, building the foundation in the next couple weeks, and hopefully by next semester we should have smokers across the street.
Suffolk Student Government will be holding open forums in the days to come for all students to raise their concerns about the new rule.
As Suffolk University continues from Beacon Hill closer to downtown Boston, one of its classroom and administrative buildings is up for sale. The Fenton building on Durn Street is listed with commercial realtor Jones Lang LaSalle and has been appraised at $9 million. We called the realtors to update us on offers and changes, but they have not returned our call. While plans are in the works to put 3 other buildings on the market, currently the Fenton building is the only one Suffolk has listed for sale. Beacon Hill residents are hoping the Fenton building sale will reduce student traffic and noise on the Hill that has often caused controversy with school neighbors. And also on the Hill, the Department of Public Works is planning to construct wheelchair-accessible sidewalks over the coming years. The plan is to make the streets of Boston more accessible to disabled people. The proposal to remove thousands of square feet of bricks from the sidewalks and hundreds of trees from the streets was rejected by the Beacon Hill Architectural Commission late last year. But the plan could still be successful. The members of the BHAC voted to revisit another plan in the future. Any plan would have to be compliant with the Beacon Hill Historic Guidelines. For now, it seems the trees are staying, but the sidewalks might not look as old.
The state of Massachusetts is in hot water again for child care and safety. According to the United States Department of Health and Human Services, Massachusetts ranks 38 out of 50 for foster children visited by month by caseworkers. The Bay State is also one of 5 states that did not report abuse allegations in a timely manner to the federal government. This all comes after the State Department of Children and Families has been under fire for the disappearance of a 5-year-old boy from Fitchburg while under its care.
The Winter Olympic Games in Sochi are still on. From luge to bobsled, the athletes are keeping busy.
As the world turns its attention to Sochi, Suffolk U News is keeping up with updates to the latest news on the Games. Suffolk U News reporter Diana Novakovic is here in the studio to tell us a little bit more about what's happening in the Games.
So, Katie and Dan, it has been a hectic week for the athletes. Continuing our Olympic coverage now, one of Suffolk University's own is quite the Olympic fanatic. Katie Maloney has attended the past 7 Olympic Games as a volunteer, and this year is no different. She plans to travel to the Paralympic Games, also being held in Sochi. The Paralympics are the second largest sporting event in the world and involve athletes with a range of physical and intellectual disability. We touch base with Maloney to find out what she loves about the Paralympics the most.
You have people from all walks of life, all parts of the world, oftentimes not being able to communicate verbally with each other, but yet celebrating in everybody's accomplishments.
Maloney leaves for Sochi on February 26 and will be volunteering in the curling rink. NBC will be televising the Paralympics for the first time this year. There are athletes from our area competing in the Olympics game. Emily Cook, a native of Boston and a freestyle skier, is back for the 3rd Olympic Games, but she did not make the podium. Former Harvard student Julie Chu is part of the U.S. women's hockey team, a team playing strongly in early Olympic rounds. New England's pair figure skating duo of Marissa Ketley and Simone Shapiro sit in 9th place after day 1, which qualifies them for the free skate. We wish them the best of luck. The 1980 Olympics was an exciting time for Mike Arizoni because he won gold. He has been attending and even commentating at the Winter Olympic Hockey Games ever since. As the Olympic Games continue in Russia, Arizoni shares his excitement in rooting for USA from the rink that bears his name in Winthrop. But because of recent terror threats, as he told us exclusively, he opted out of going to this year's game for safety reasons.
So I've been going to the Olympic Games, basically the Winter Games, ever since 1980. So it's exciting, especially now coming up with what's happening in Sochi over in Russia. Looking forward to see how our athletes perform. Not Sochi. I mean, anywhere else I have no problem going. I'm going to pass on this one. I'm going to stay in the United States.
Arizona looks forward to commentating at the next Winter Olympic Games to be held in South Korea. Ski jumping has been around since the first Winter Games in 1924, but remained a men-only world until this year. Suffolk's own Olympic enthusiast coach Jim Nelson teaches a class on the history of the Games and shares his excitement with us.
For the very first time, there will be ski jumping for women, which had never been allowed. So I think people will be interested to see how that goes, and we know it'll go very well.
And very well it went. Germany's Karina Vogt became the first woman to win a ski jumping gold, regardless of the results. All of the athletes were part of history on Tuesday. It has been almost a week since the Olympics Games started, and we are keeping track of the top scoring countries. As of now, Norway holds on to lead at the Sochi Games with a total of 11 medals, creating a 2-medal gap between itself and second-place country Canada. The United States and Russia are equal in the ranking with a total of 7 medals.
Dana, of course, you're from Switzerland. How is the Swiss team doing?
So the Swiss team has already won 4 medals. So we will keep track and we will see what happens.
And the Swiss snowboarder just won gold in the half pipe, beating out the United States Olympic golden boy, Shaun White.
Right.
Yes, that was great. Right. Thank you. And even though the United States trails in the overall medal count, the Olympics Games are not over yet. Everything can change. A sports-related story now. The Boston Marathon bombing brought tragedy to our city, but it also brought out the best of our city. Suffolk University student Matthew Gifford is raising money to run his first race this year, proving we are still Boston strong.
When someone attacks our city, our people, at such an iconic event, you really want to make sure that Boston does not falter by it. The spirit of Boston, what we do in Boston, and how we act in Boston we cannot allow terrorism to shut us down like that. We have to come back even stronger.
The spirit of Boston is so strong that a documentary filmmaker and a runner himself will be making a film about this year's Boston Marathon. The documentary footage will date back to its origins from 1987, but it will mostly be structured around the 2014 event.
We'll take you to a movie that stars one of our own.
in a role that marks him as hotter than Clooney.
You
Suffolk
with
Scene
the
is
best
next.
and the brightest.
We're just watching them get ready for the end of the world here. One of them's got to lose.
The lady who is competing way in the back corner. Here she is.
This is victory.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
That's slow and blue. Seriously.
For those of you who aren't glued to your television sets watching the Olympic coverage, there's plenty to do here in Boston.
Suffolk News reporter Jessica Nappy joins us here live in the studio to tell us about what's going around in Boston and the Suffolk scene.
Yes, we have some deals going on, but first, some Suffolk celebrity news. Suffolk University's own American cinema professor is starring in an indie movie. Gerald Peary got a supporting role in the movie Computer Chess, about technology versus the human mind when it comes to playing chess. His acting skills have been proven by the IndieWire poll, ranking him higher than George Clooney for Best Supporting Role.
So the IndieWire poll of the year, which has all the critics voting for the best supporting actors, I finished like 37th, and George Clooney for Gravity finished 50th. So sorry, George, I beat George Clooney.
Computer Chess is available now on Netflix and iTunes. A new deal is looking to keep Faneuil Hall and your stomach full until spring. 24 vendors and restaurants in Quincy Market are offering half off on select menu items. Half off at the hall runs until the end of March. To check out which of your favorite restaurants are participating, check out FaneuilHallMarketplace.com. Once again, that website is FaneuilHallMarketplace.com. As Valentine's Day approaches, it's time to think about an original date idea with your significant other. The Museum of Fine Arts will use its historic grounds for a scavenger hunt. Lovebirds can search for art in hopes of winning one of the prizes given to 4 finalists. And if you're single on Valentine's Day, there is no need to fret. The Bell in Hand Tavern is hosting a party in order to crown Boston's biggest flirt. You can enjoy some cocktails, appetizers, and mingle in hopes of earning the biggest flirt title. This event is $15 and starts at 7 p.m. If Valentine's Day empties your pockets, you can still have some fun. Boston Common Frog Pond is offering discounts to students. Every Tuesday night from 6 to 9 p.m., college students can skate for only $2 with a valid student ID. And doing some twists and turns is only half of the fun. Frog Pond Cafe has hot chocolate, soups, and lunch meals to help you warm up. Make sure to head there while you can. Frog Pond skating will close in the beginning of March. I really want to check out Frog Pond, but I've been watching the Olympic coverage of the skating, and I don't want to embarrass myself, so I might not do it.
It's still a fun time, though.
Yes.
I think
Thank you,
I'm
Jessica.
going to do that scavenger hunt. That seems like a lot of fun.
You should. I might go with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank you.
That does it for this edition of Suffolk U News, the weekly news program brought to you by the Department of Communication and Journalism at Suffolk University. I'm Katie Shambo.
And I'm Dan Lamparella. Thank you for watching us here on the Boston Neighborhood Network or on the internet.
Be sure to continue to watch for Suffolk U News, bringing you more from the school with a heart.
In the heart of the city. Goodbye.